Hello to everyone watching, and welcome to my 2025 NASCAR season preview. Firstly, I'd like to throw out a disclaimer that this will be mostly Cup Series based. Throughout the year, I plan to expand my interest in the Xfinity Series, so hopefully this time next year, I'll be covering that too. 2025 will be my third year as a Cup Series fan. I hope this season will provide as many fun and exciting moments as last year, while I continue to break the bank with international shipping fees for diecasts. Firstly, let's cover the major driver and team changes from last year. Possibly the biggest story of last year was Stewart-Haas Racing dissolving their 4 Cup Series teams at the end of 2024. They later announced to be rebranding into a one-car team under the name of Haas Factory Racing. The interest of owners Gene Haas and Tony Stewart has declined in recent years, and Stewart ended up leaving for good while he focused on NHRA. SHR consisted of 4 cars, the 4, the 10, the 14 and 41, but Haas Factory Racing will only carry on with the 41 this year, with Cole Custer behind the wheel. He showed great progress in the Xfinity Series after his previous Cup demotion, and I think he has a great opportunity to help rebuild the team around him. Over the NASCAR silly season, the other SHR charters and drivers dispersed around the field. Noah Gragson and his crew chief Drew Blickensderfer moved to Front Row Motorsports' new number 4 car. Josh Berry took the number 21 Wood Brothers Ford, replacing Harrison Burton, who now takes the number 15 ride for AM Racing in the Xfinity Series. Ryan Preece moved to the new number 60 for RFK, their first team expansion in almost a decade. It's an exciting prospect for Preece to step up to RFK from that number 41, so I hope it pays off for both parties. However, the biggest upgrade went to Chase Briscoe, who took outgoing Martin Truex Jr.'s number 19 Joe Gibbs Toyota. He will have a lot of pressure and expectation upon him this year, but evaluating his performance, especially in the past year, he will bring a great new energy to the 19 team. Martin Truex Jr. entered full-time retirement, although he is confirmed on the entry list for this year's Daytona 500 with Tricon in the number 56 car, and may possibly make more future one-off appearances. Michael McDowell's tenure with Front Row came to an end last year. He and FRM crew chief Travis Peterson now take on new challenges in the number 71 for Spire Motorsports, alongside Justin Haley and Carson Hocevar. Honestly, such a good lineup, and one to keep an eye on this year. Todd Gilliland steps into the Love's Travel Stops number 34, and Zane Smith jumps from Spire to the 38, alongside previously mentioned Noah Gragson in the 4. 2311 also expanded to a 3-car team and will field the number 35 full-time in 2025. They signed young hotshot Riley Herbst in a potentially risky but golden opportunity for both parties. Herbst is still a question mark in the Cup Series, but he's clearly talented, so I hope he can settle into a rhythm quickly in his rookie season for MJ. Trackhouse made a huge name signing in the form of Shane Van Gisbergen, who will drive the returning number 88 full-time. Corlick has binned off the 31 car for the 10. AJ Allmendinger will return to full-time Cup Series racing in the number 16, while Ty Dillon also makes his Cup Series return in the number 10. This one went under the radar, but JTG Doherty Racing announced in November a rebrand into Hayek Motorsports for 25 and beyond, thanks to new ownership. The team keeps Ricky Stenhouse Jr. behind the wheel of the 47 car, albeit without Kroger this year. Legacy Motor Club retained John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones in the 42 and 43 cars respectively, while Jimmy Johnson will only race twice this year, in the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600, which will mark his 700th Cup Series start. In my honest opinion, I think Spire's lineup of McDowell, Hocevar and Haley, who by the way will have Rodney Childers as a crew chief, is possibly the strongest lineup of 2025. Spire as an organisation is a really exciting prospect and expanding quickly with their 3rd car last year and some big signings this year. It may be a bold prediction, but I reckon they'll contest for wins a couple times during the season. And even if they don't fulfill such an achievement, I expect at least 2 of their cars to be on the fringes of the playoff bubble by the end of the regular season. Definitely one to watch, and especially on superspeedways. Next are the schedule changes. Starting with the biggest schedule news from August last year, NASCAR Cup and Xfinity will race at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in 2025. This is NASCAR's first points-paying venture into Mexico, and I hope it ignites a push for more international races in the future. Personally, I'm hoping for a Montreal return to the schedule. This year, the Clash moves to Bowman Gray Stadium, its first NASCAR event since 1971, hopefully kicking off the year with a great exhibition race. Homestead Miami shifts its way up to a March date rather than a late season playoff race. Personally, I don't like this move, as Homestead Miami is a perfect venue for a playoff race, thanks to its test of skill and ability, while being a multi-groove racetrack with varying strategy. However, this could be a temporary move, as potential rumours circle of a championship finale from 26 onwards. Watkins Glen also gets a date change, shifting from the round of 16 to the third to last race in the regular season schedule. Daytona becomes the regular season finale, which honestly is hype, while Darlington opens the playoffs in style, with Gateway also moving to a round of 16 slot. New Hampshire also becomes a playoff race for the first time since 2017. Talladega moves from the round of 12 to the round of 8 this year too. Rockingham returns to the schedule for Trucks and Xfinity in April this year, while Lime Rock Park will host a Truck Series race in June. Amazon Prime and TNT Sports will now show 5 races each during the middle portion of the season, with Amazon beginning theirs with May 25th's Coca-Cola 600, ending on June 22nd's Pocono race. TNT will host the first ever in-season tournament across the following 5 races of Atlanta, Chicago, Sonoma, Dover and Indianapolis, where drivers will compete for a $1 million prize. If you followed Denny Hamlin's bracket challenge last year, you'll kinda know what to expect, but it's going to be interesting and it's a great way to gain fan engagement in the sport. And finally, some format changes. There are rumours of some minor tweaks to the playoff format this year as an experiment in preparation for a general shake-up in 2026. Although nothing official has come out of this yet, if anything does come out, it will be very minor. A revised race preparation program announced in December means altered practice and qualifying formats for all 3 series. Group practice goes from 20 to 25 minutes, single round qualifying at every track for super speedways, and starting position based solely on qualifying results. I don't know what they based their starting position on if it wasn't qualifying results, but yeah. Welcome to NASCAR.
Now Logano the outside. They can't get around.
Whoa! Keselowski gets turned by William Byron. Blaney gets caught up. Gilliland, Truex, Hamlin, and more.